Oh, I thought there was I thought there was a countdown. Unless there is or there isn't. But what a beautiful start. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the pilot episode of Friday Night Footy with Ztank99. Yes, it's kind of like the song they play, the KFC one on Foxley, but no, we are here nonetheless, here to talk about all the footy that has happened and the footy that is about to happen. So, just glad to see everyone's here. This is a completely new setup for me. Obviously, never used StreamYard before. Have been on streams where they have used it, but yeah, we got a ticker, we got a talent, of course. My name, if we can get rid of this, is that right in the corner. There we go, Ztank99. It's I'll guide you on this journey of what has happened so far with round 22 of NRL football. So without further ado, let's get to the start of it and let's talk about the match that has just happened. Oh boy. Let me just put myself in this situation. 46-16 to the Melbourne Storm over the Parramatta Eels. Obviously, there was a bit of a hoo-ha, to say the very least, in the pre-game because obviously the Storm was celebrating their premiership victories, and they included the 2007 and 2009 premierships, the ones that have been stripped of them, which controversial to say the very least, but that is how it's kind of just been. But the Storm came out with a emphatic win. Though, to say and also in the pre-game, of course, Clint Gutho decided to go all stone cold on him. Tried to find a picture of it. Couldn't find one, unfortunately. But just break down the game. As you see there, 8 tries to 3, 7 from 8. Nick Meaney having a solid performance, 24-2 at half time. So still in reach for Parramatta, but it's just the Storm just came out emphatically. As you see, the live stream's currently ongoing. So go for the play-by-play of just the important stuff. It's just we can just get right down to the bottom. But it started well initially for Parramatta. Sean Russell getting the first try of the match. Very, very good to see. Struggled to miss the kick there from Moses. Harry Grant going over. And, it's good to see a hooker go over, especially someone who actually scored in the last time. I believe when it was round 1 last time, Harry Grant actually did go over in the opening game of the season, actually, was when the last time these two teams played. Not much happened, and then 22nd minute, or 23rd to say the very least, Harry Grant goes over again. Nick Meaney gets the kick to make it 12 points to 4, 24 and a half gone. And then the point just started to roll in. Jerome Hughes getting a try 3 minutes later, and then the conversion being made by Nick Meaney. Parramatta do start getting a fire back. Jermaine Hopgood, a.k.a. everybody's saving grace when it comes to the entirety of team players' fantasies, and Mitchell Moses gets the conversion to make it 18-10. Then video ref Captain Jones unsuccessful, but then just before halftime, Elisa Katoa goes over and gets a try. Nick Meaney makes it 24-10. And that was how the first half ended. Parramatta needed to make a good start, but obviously 7.5 minutes in, Josh King, former Knights boy, goes over in the 47th minute. Nick Meaney converts to make it 30-10. And then just errors and line breaks. Everything was just going for Melbourne. And then, of course, 22 minutes to go, Marion Sevi goes over. And then also another conversion by Nick Meaney to make it 36-10. Parramatta do get a try. Luke Moretti, very happy for him to get a try there. Conversion made it to 20-point game. 15 minutes to go, still somewhat likely of potentiality, but then Munster, I feel, put the final dagger into the heart of the Parramatta Eels there with a try with 12 minutes to go. And then the conversion to make it 42-16, and then to cap it all off, Will Warbrick goes over, who's actually been, I think, a very standout player for Melbourne, gets the try to make it 46-16 for the final score. It's hard to say. And some of the comments here is Jacko here, Eels are fried, they will not make finals footy. It's hard to say. It's very hard to say the very least about what is going to happen because the competition's still very much close in challenging for the finals. It's just one of those who knows what might actually happen. But, I mean, this actually now gives the opportunity for Manly and the Knights to overtake Parramatta. And so Parramatta could realistically drop down as far as 11th if they don't actually get the win. So that is something that could very much affect them, as obviously with Manly and Newcastle having that 1 point draw. Well, obviously that's what you get for a draw, but basically that has come to affect them in terms of trying to get up to the ladder, but it's also going to affect other teams. As Jacka here as well, if the Eels do seek it to the 8, I think they've gone week wide. That is probably how it is. It's kind of like the top 5 or 6. The top 5 really is starting to just run away with it at this current point. But now we will move on to the earlier match that was on today, as we do talk about the West Tigers and the South Sydney Rabbitohs, as we can get into this transition. So 18:32, a lot closer than I feel like a lot of people have, and it was very close up until the last couple of minutes. But in the lead up to this game, it really, and even the early minutes of this, it really shouldn't have. I'll just keep it on this because you can all probably see that surely at some point. Let's just go full screen that. Yeah, you can see it completely fine. Yeah, Alex Johnson getting a try almost immediately to get the try from the interception, set the pace early. But a bit of a mistake by the Rabbitohs defensive line caused Abasai Coruscant to go over to make it to basically draw the game level. But then you started seeing Isaiah Tass and Alex Johnson going over for the second time in quick succession. And it's going well. Then you also had Kuala Tangi going over in the 26. So pretty much at about half time, if I'll just check it was 20-6 to South Sydney. So fairly decent score. Probably not to the same size as how everybody expected it to go. But it's just unfortunate. Oh, we got wobble and jaw. I think the combination of the Eels having the hardest start to the season, tough finish to the year, and all the suspensions and injuries looking like it'll lead to the Eels just missing finals. It is fairly much true. I mean, I've still got a fair bit of hope that they're going to win, but they're going to. I think they can still go through, but it depends on other results now, which is not what you want in this situation. I'll get back to Jackie's comment here. Going into the second half now, and obviously Tigers needed to come out, and they sort of did. Fanua Pole getting a try in the 56th minute, making it very close. Yeah, I think it was about, it was 20-6. It was 20-12, I believe. So it was like an 8-point difference. But then luckily Alex Johnson was able to get his hat trick again. He's just an absolute scoring machine. I don't know, if he just kept going out this, I think he would be up there with Dominic Young this season for the try tally, but it's just hard to say now. And it was still very close, keeping it until Cameron Murray put the dagger in 5 minutes before the game, and it ended 32-all. So Coruscant actually now 2 from 2 from the kicking, so that's pretty good here. Latrell getting 4 from 6. It's a good win for South because they are now in the top 8. I mean, they always were in the top 8, but are now have made this increased further, so there's now a bit more of a gap in between the teams trying to get in and not. So even if the Knights and the Manly Sea Eagles both win, they basically can't physically enter the 8 until the next coming weeks. But Jackie here saying Coruscant, great player for me, man of the match, even though on the losing side. Very much so. Coruscant, I mean, he surely should get player of the season for the West Tigers. He's been absolutely incredible for them, and very well. And we have someone backing him up here, wobbling jaw with the 100% agreed. So now we're just going to quickly transition to the game that started off the round. A very interesting game in some regards, as we have if I can just find it. There we go. The Brisbane Broncos and the Sydney Roosters, 32 points to 10. This was pretty much a must-win for the Roosters. Fairly safe to say they needed to win this game. Pretty much Brisbane, they're pretty much already going to make finals. There is still a mathematical chance that they can't make it, and they did kind of mess it up last year, but there's no way that's going to happen, at all. It'd be really ridiculous if they do mess up in a way. But obviously, The Broncos just came out firing. Herbie Farnworth going over in the 4th minute. Ezra Mam in the 14th. Patrick Harrigan in the 34th. So pretty much it was 18-0 at it was 20-0 at halftime. That's right. There was a penalty goal by Adam Reynolds. A little bit of an interesting thing that happened in this game was the referee stopping one of the certain tries for the Brisbane Broncos, but it didn't happen. And it was actually Tedesco that kind of said, no, the rule is you got to play the ball again, which is very honourable by him to say the very least. Going into the second half, Roosters needed to come out firing, and they did initially, but it took until the 65th minute for them to get the try. Billy Smith going over, and then 2 minutes later, Katoni Staggs just burrows over. Tupou does get a try, which does make him the highest scoring Rooster of all time. So there is something of a positive to come from this match. But Ezra Mam getting a try, 2 minutes to go with the interception. It's just it was a standout performance from Brisbane, a game they needed to win and needed to do well. I don't really know why, probably just to keep up with Penrith for the minor premiership, but the Roosters are in some serious trouble here at the moment. So we can now move on, sort of. No, actually, before we can actually look at the ladder of how it currently does stand. So Brisbane now have officially moved up, and now in first place. Obviously, we've got to wait to see how Penrith go as they take on the Cronulla Sharks, which should be an interesting match. We've got a question even Jason Ball. Why people keep writing off the Broncos has gotten me beat. They have an awesome backline. The forward camp is probably the best. Back is probably the best in the comp. Very much true. It's very. I don't know. It is weird. It's like they haven't really shown any signs of, faltering, kind of like it was last year. But just I don't know. The visions of last year have gone somewhat fairly remembered, but I think they should be fine. Be great to see if they can get the minor premiership and have someone else win it. It's though it is even Brisbane, but obviously going into further down the ladder, as you see there, South Sydney now in 7th place, and the Cowboys just knocked down to 8th, but Parramatta now in 9th place. And you see the Dolphins have actually jumped the Roosters without even playing. So unless the Dolphins lose by 20 against the Dogs, the Dolphins will now be ahead of the Roosters for the rest of the round. But obviously, as you see here in terms of this gap, Knights and Manly will, if they win, they get to 25, but they'll still just be 1 point shy of the top 8, which will just get a hell of a lot closer going into the rest of the round. And that is where we move on to the rest of round predictions. Oh, you got to love it. You got to love the suspense, the draw, the formalities coming in here. So starting off, 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. We have a big one. We very much have a big one. Oh, God, I've clicked off it. God damn it. I am useless. It's formalities. But obviously we have the Canberra Raiders against the Newcastle Knights. This is a big game for the Knights. Going to be very hard to pick. It's just either way, it's going to be hard to try to figure it out because you got Canberra who are trying to get themselves in the second chance spots in the top 4. Knights are just trying to get into touching distance with the finals. It's hard to say. Obviously, the Knights are coming off 3 wins in a row at the moment. Canberra are on some good home. Canberra, did they win last week? I don't think they. Canberra, did they win last? Oh God, I've got to check. Yeah, technical difficulties in the pilot because I do not do research whatsoever. That's what's going to happen. That's we'll just have a quick. Happy well, hope to see you too, Nick, and very good Friday night review. Did catch about the second half of it. It was good to see, and it was a good round, good Friday by all, I must say. So Canberra last week, they lost 1 point to the Warriors. That's what happened, and that's the thing. Yeah, teams going over to the Warriors is going to be pretty damn hard. But obviously, It's hard, but I think the Knights can win. It's weird. It's like now I've actually got a bit of confidence with this Knights team. Like we've actually been playing some fairly good football. I do know Daniel Saifidi is out. That's probably the only dilemma that I think we probably have, but it'll be another close game. I mean, I remember last time we played down in Canberra was the whole Hudson Young scoring in like the last minute when basically the Knights were on their line and then we lost the ball and it was, but obviously I think the Knights can win. Be good to see, but if Canberra win, I think it'd be very understandable. Now we go into the other game where a team who's on 23 points trying to get up into the touching distance of the finals. It is the Dragons against the Sea Eagles. Obviously, it has been repeated that Manly have not beaten the Dragons at the Gong in 20 years, which is going to be very hard. Seems like you're a good man like some others. Those words mean very much to me. Thank you, man. Obviously, haven't won in Wollongong in 20 years. It's going to be kind of stacked against Manly, but, Manly have got, I think they've got the talent to do it, and obviously the Dragons are in a very tough spot at the moment. I think they're going to try to give us a real hot crap, but I think Manly should be able to break the hoodoo and get the win. So I think it basically will be like two teams 1 point away from the finals at this point. So now what we're going to do is move on to the main event on Saturday. Oh boy, it is the Canberra. What? It is the Penrith Panthers up against the Cronulla Sharks. Obviously, the Sharks are in a bit of free fall at the moment in terms of the finals. And you've got Penrith who need to win this game to basically, stay on top of Brisbane, trying to get the minor premiership. It's Penrith at Penrith. I mean, there's not really much I can say. It's like they're going to win. Penrith are just going to win. It's like I want the Sharks to do well, but it's just in the video I discussed it back. I think it was back on Monday. I was talking about how Cronulla have got a pretty tough run to finish off the season, with showing of how when they're playing against teams that are either better than them or around the same level, they've kind of faltered in the last couple of weeks. So this could be another match that's where they do suffer, and I think won't be too shocking, but I think Penrith should be able to take this win. Ooh. This is a tasty one. Sunday, 2 p.m. Bulldogs against the Dolphins. Up at Bundaberg, for some reason, it's like I don't understand why the hell they have a thing where basically they have a regional game, which I understand completely, but it's like they make the team that's like pretty much the closest to them the away team. It'd be like if they had a game, like, I don't know, like Lake Macquarie, and the Knights were the away team. It would just make not a lot of sense, but obviously you got the Bulldogs and the Dolphins. Bulldogs are just in all sorts of strife. The Dolphins are getting some fresh players back. Obviously, they had the bye, so I think they're going to... Obviously, they're still a team that can make the 8, so they're going to come into this game well, and I think the Dolphins should take this out. And we go to the final game of the round, 4:05 p.m., the Gold Coast against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just in really good, ungodly form recently. I think they're 6 on the trot at the moment. They're going very well, trying to push themselves up the ladder and where they should be. Titans have lost 4 in a row, and I believe they're just starting to falter a little bit, and it's pretty much for the Titans, it's do or die if they don't win. I think you can kind of put a line through them about making the 8. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that the Cowboys should be able to take the win. I'll be there Sunday. See us getting around the line, start the chant, go the Cowboys. Yeah, I think the Cowboys should be able to win this. It's should be a big game and bit of a Queensland derby, but I do believe that the Cowboys should be able to get the job done there. So that isn't really all, because we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a bit of game time. We're going to be testing my ball knowledge. So, the term about zero ball knowledge does get thrown around a lot. And I'm going to put myself to the sword a little bit to see if I actually have, good ball knowledge. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to stream one of the screens. I'm going to stream this tab. Okay, we're going to go here. There we go. So we have got a quiz. And this quiz right here is, when did they win the Premiership NRL? So this is every single Premiership season. I need to figure out up until when, because there's 114. So I think there's about 2020 is my go-to. I haven't checked. And I just want to make this completely clear on record for the people. I have not checked prior into this. I've just clicked. This is all I've seen pretty much of what I've watched. So, okay, that's actually too small. Yeah, there we go. I think that's sizable and respectable. So, I guess we got to do the quiz. I'm not going to be opening up to like the to the comments because I feel like that's cheating. So, without further ado, got 10 minutes to see if we can name 114 Premiership winners. So, let's go. Okay, so it's teams, and we've got to pick what years they won. So for South Sydney, this is, we can go 2014's one. I know 1908's one of them. 1971 was the last time. That was the gap. Then we could try to, oh, God. Okay, can you, like, skip? Okay, West Tigers. Okay, we can do that. 2005. We'll just keep going backwards. St. George Illawarra Dragons, that was 2010. Cowboys was 2015. It was actually a pretty good run, 2014 to 2016 of grand finals, to be fair. Cronulla Sutherland Sharks, that's 2016. North Sydney. Ooh. God knows. Newcastle, okay, we can do the second one. So the second one, 2001 and 1997. Okay, there's two 1997s, obviously, because the Super League with Brisbane. Newtown. I'll skip through that. Canberra. That one, okay, we'll just go these ones. So that is 1989, 1990, and 1994. Western Suburbs, God. Okay, Penrith, we can do this. So Penrith is 91. Is not, yeah. Oh, it goes up to 2022. So okay, 2021, 2022, and 2003. Yes. Okay, Parramatta. So Parramatta is pretty simple. It's 81, 82, 83, and 86. Boom. We keep on going. Oh, the Melbourne Storm. I just realized 2007 and 2009 are not here. So obviously, because they sort of cheated, even though they didn't listen to their own thing when they were doing the presentations. So Melbourne Storm was 1999, 2012, and 2000. Oh, yeah, there's 2017, 2020. Brisbane, okay. So Brisbane is 92, 93, Super League 97, 98, 2000, 2006. Okay. Manly, okay. So Manly won in 2011. They won in 2008. They won 96. Manly won 87. Now I'm stuck on Manly, so we'll just skip for them. The Bulldogs, we know they did pretty much, it was like 80, 84, 85, 88, 2004, and there's three others which I can't think of. Balmain, oh Jesus. I know there's a bunch of runs in the 30s. Roosters. Okay, there's a lot of them. I'm sorry for the obsessive clicking, but how long we got actually so far? We've got 7 minutes. Okay, we have 3 minutes gone. Hang on, we'll try to get rid of this. We can try to make it properly full screen. There we go. Okay, Roosters. 18-19. Roosters won 2013. Oh, God. That's all I know. St. George. Okay, I know St. George, the Dragons specifically, it was like a 10-year span. It was like 56. It was something like, yeah, it was like was 65 their last one? Okay, 55 is wrong, and there was 66. No, it was 10 years. I don't think they won 67, did they? No, they didn't. Okay. More of South Sydney. Oh, God. Are we just on old teams now? Crap. Okay, I'm fairly certain 1910 was a Newtown one. Right, this is where it gets tricky. 95. Oh, hang on. Yeah, 95 was St. George, wasn't it? God, the obsessive clicking. I do apologize. Yeah, 95 was St. George. No, it's the Dogs. Oh, no, they played St. George in the grand final. Yeah, it was the Bulldogs. Was 95. Bulldogs was 95. Now we're in tricky territory. Was it like 78? Manly. Okay, Manly. Where Manly. 2002. 2002 is another Roosters one. Oh my God. Oh, God damn it. I've moved the mouse, so I'm clicking with a trackpad. Roosters 2002. Now I'm stuck. Wasn't 1909? Oh yeah, wasn't 1909 South Sydney? Wait, 11, 12, 13. Fuck. Whoops. 7 wrong. Okay, so we can't get all of them. Gonna say like 75. No, one. Oh, this is falling apart. Suburbs is like the 40s, wasn't it? Like the war. This is falling apart. Newtown's like 1912, 1911. North Sydney. God, I don't know. South Sydney, I think, was 1909. That was the one where Balmain forfeited, but there's a lot of controversy around it. It was like 1912, 11, 28, 27, 29, 30, 26. Ooh. 25. Ooh. Do we tempt 24? Yes. Fuck. Oh, boy. Roosters. Okay, God. 77. 78. Oh, hang on. No, sorry. It wasn't like the late 70s. It was like a bunch of St. George grand finals, wasn't it? Balmain won in like... There was like the 20s, wasn't it? The 30s. 1930. 30. The war. Where the fuck did they win? The Bulldogs. 79 was the Dogs. Manly. When do they win? Manly is 67. No, they're fucking... When did Manly form? Why do they form? 69. Fuck. 70. These were a bunch of Manlys, weren't they? Yeah, fucking... The 70s were... God. Magpies, 47. South are 47. No, they're 46. When do they win these fucking premiers? They're 55, 54, 53, 52. No, 51. Oh, okay. There's 10 questions remaining. We've got 37 of them wrong. This is shocking. This is shocking form, I must say. St. George. When did they win? 79 was St. George. Roosters, 78, 77, 75, 74, 1930, 31, 32, 41. Oh, boy. Okay, so 62%, 71 out of 114. So let's review. So 1908, 09. Okay, so 1908, 1909 was South Sydney. 1910 was Newtown. Okay. 11, Roosters. 12, Roosters. 13, Roosters. 14, South. 15, Balmain. 16, Balmain. 17, Balmain. 18, South. 19, Balmain. 20, Balmain. 21 was one of the North Sydney ones. 22 was the other North Sydney one. Bloody hell. Eastern Suburbs in 23. Balmain 24. We'll just skip to 1930. Just the ones that we got wrong. Western Suburbs 1930. 31 was South. 32 was South. 33 was Newtown. 34 was Western Suburbs. 35 Roosters. 36 Roosters. 37 Roosters. 38 Bulldogs. So that's the first one. It took them 3 years to win a premiership. Nice one. Okay, well, I think we should read the messages actually, so we can get this done. Man, there's absolute temptation to call and help. Yep. See what else is there. Manly Canterbury was 95. Yeah, what? I was Manly Canterbury. I thought it was Dragons. God damn it. That was pressure. This is I feel like rugby league history was scratching his head there, but that's cricket. So okay, so 38 was the Bulldogs, 1939 was Balmain, 41 was St George, 42 was the Bulldogs, 43 Newtown, 44 Balmain, 45 Roosters, 46 Balmain, 47 Balmain, 48 Western Suburbs. God damn it, where is this run now? 49 was St George. It was the second of St George. 50 was South Sydney. 52 was the Magpies. 67 was Souths. 68 was South. 69 was Balmain. 1970 was South. 72 was Manly. 73 was Manly. 77 was St George. And 78 was Manly. I think I did all right. The thing is like I know a thing that's like off by heart. I know the grand finals up to 1980, and then I'm screwed. And then I know like the 55 to 66, basically, where St George won by so many grand finals. But yeah, not too bad. And I don't think it's actually not too. I've done my best. That's the takeaway from this, definitely. But so yeah, hopefully next week we actually have some form of properly scheduled thing and not spontaneous. Actually have some structure to this. So thank you all for watching this pilots. Excited to do more. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all later though. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.